Hey, Marty here. Welcome to the Sublime to the Ridiculous Video Blog Edition. I have said many times that me Grandpa Joe could get very mad very quickly. And most of the time, God love his soul, it wasn't really justified. But sometimes it was. And one of those times was it came to how this company was handling his welding cable. Grandpa Joe was meticulous about a lot of things, and back when he rented welders, you needed these long lengths of copper welding cable to weld with. Some of these things were 200 feet long. So, it was important to keep them straight, and it was important to keep them untangled. So he would always wrap them very meticulously when he stored them, and then when he shipped them out, you could grab a big loop of cable off of a rack and put it in a truck, and there you go. So he was particular about that. Wrap the welding cable. Well, there was a job about 40 years ago that had a lot of welders on it, which meant it had a lot of welding cable. And unfortunately, there was some problem with one of the welders. They made several service calls, but there were problems with the job. Things happen. Well, when they were done with the job, they called to have the welders brought in, 6 or 7 of them, and Joe happened to be the one that went out to pick them up. And when Joe got out there was his 6 welders, but there on a pallet was the largest, biggest, most twisted, tied up in knots set of welding cables you can ever imagine. Well, that's enough to set Joe off by itself, but then the job foreman came around to Joe and says, the general manager of the plant wants to see about these welders. And Joe says, well, that's just dandy, because I want to see him too. So they took Joe into the office, and before this GM could even open his mouth, Joe lit into him about how dare him tie those welding cables up like that, how dare they just pile them on a pallet, how dare they don't sort them out and put them in coils and sort them by length and tie them up with string. He didn't bring the cables out like that. How dare they give him the cables back like that, and on and on and on, and I mean screaming at the top of his lungs, which is those of you who know Joe, know he could do very well. So anyway, this harangue went on for the longest time, and Joe was just starting to ratchet down when the guy made the mistake of saying, Joe, can you keep it down just a little bit? Because of how loud Joe was yelling. Joe says, hell no, I can't. I want everybody in this building to know how upset I am, and I don't want to have to go down and talk to each one of them personally. And it was on again. The harangue went on for another few minutes with this guy just slinking farther and farther into his chair. So that by the time Joe got done and turned around and left the office, the general manager of the plant was more than happy to let him go. I don't think he ever told Joe exactly what was wrong with the machines that he wanted to complain to him about. I think he was just happy that the old man was out of his office. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment in the comments menus. I'd really appreciate it. In the meantime, this is Marty going from the sublime to the ridiculous. And coil and sort your welding cables, please.